Hey everybody, it's Jim and welcome back to another lesson of Introduction to Korn Shell. Last time we went over pattern matching and we went over the concept of having optional patterns within a test string. So for example, right here, what this meant was that whatever this string was, it was required, but whatever was inside of the question mark parentheses was optional. You don't have to have it, but if it's there, that's fine too. And this optional part could go at the beginning, it could go at the end, it could go somewhere in the middle, and you could even have multiple instances of them. So for example, you could have string followed by an optional pattern choices, followed by string 2, followed by more optional pattern choices, followed by string 3, and so on and so forth. And here's just an example. Whatever the string would be required, and then optionally you could end it with pattern 1, pattern 2, or pattern 3. Or you don't have to have anything at all, as long as you have string by itself. Now today I wanted to go over something a little different. It's the at parenthesis, which matches exactly one of what is inside of the parentheses. It is required, it's not optional, and this is what it looks like, or something to that effect. So you must have pattern 1, or pattern 2, or pattern 3, and it's useful for looking for a list of things. Now, I'm doing an example that's similar to what we did last time, where we were looking for Tom or Tommy. Well, we're going to also look for Thomas this time. So, this test right here says that we're going to go and get the value inside of the variable name, and we're going to compare it to this right here. Well, capital T is required, and what is also required is one of the 3 patterns that is inside of the parentheses here. So Thomas is fine, Tom is fine also, and Tommy is fine also. One of those 3 must be true. Those 3 must be what is inside of the variable name in order for this test to be true. So it will match Tom, Thomas, or Tommy. And as you can see, right there. Now another example, similar. I wanted to get a little more complicated just so that you can see that you can get complicated with these search patterns, and it's perfectly okay. So this right here says one of whatever is inside of the square brackets. So we can have a lowercase j or an uppercase j followed by OHN. So the word John, or the name John, with a lowercase or uppercase j is required. And then we require one of whatever is inside of the parentheses. Now I want you to notice something very carefully here. Parenthesis and then the vertical pipe. So your first choice is actually an empty set. So what that means is that John followed by absolutely nothing is perfectly okay. Or it could be followed by NY, BOY, or NIE. So what matches is John, lowercase or uppercase j, because right here, as you can see, your very first choice, what is between the parenthesis and the vertical pipe, is nothing, so therefore it matches nothing. Let me rephrase that. It matches an empty set. So John followed by nothing is perfectly acceptable. Or it matches Johnny, or it matches John Boy, or it matches Johnny. And you can only have one of those instances. So Johnny Boy is not correct. You can only have one of whatever is inside of those parentheses. And two things I wanted to show you with this next example is that you notice, first of all, that the @ sign in parentheses is the only thing that's in the search pattern, in the test pattern here. There's no string outside of the @ sign parentheses. So what that means is you have nothing at the beginning and nothing at the end, but you do have to have one of whatever is inside of the parentheses here. So our choices are white, lemon, or sky blue. So if what is inside of color matches white, lemon, or sky blue, then this test comes out true. And the other thing I want you to notice is that there is a space inside of this choice, and that's perfectly fine. The dividing character is the vertical pipe. So you can put any characters you want in between the vertical pipes or vertical pipe in parentheses. That's perfectly fine. And the last example I want to show you is a little more complex. We did something like this with the last lesson. So let's take a look at it. Let's break it down. Let's digest it. Okay, we know what's required is a ch at the beginning and a 01.txt at the end. Now, we also know that we are required to have one of whatever is inside of the parentheses here. So let's take a look at our choices. The last choice is the easiest one to figure out. It's APTER, so CHAPTER 01.text is a match. And the first choice, once again, you can see it right there, it's empty. So that means ch followed by nothing followed by 01.txt is acceptable. It will make this test right here true. And now the middle one. This one says, this choice right here, it's our AP is required, and as you remember from the last lesson, question mark means optional. Question mark followed by parentheses means optional. And what is inside the parentheses? Well, a T. So that will be CHAP followed by an optional T, and then a required 01.txt. So this test will be true if name contains ch01.txt, chap 01.txt, because that's there, chapt 01.txt, because as you remember, the T is optional in this format, or chapter1.txt.